All right. Scott, Scott. You want my full name?
Yes.
McIntyre, McIntyre.
Okay. Scott, my first question to you would be, at what point did you realize you were personally struggling with addiction?
What point did I realize? Um, Probably about 19, the first time I got incarcerated. Um, a lot with addiction, once you realize it, I realized it from NA, really, in jail, when they told me that, you know, I was an addict. I never really thought it was because of drugs. I just thought it was because I was in there just because of the crimes and stuff, and I realized then.
Okay, so it was at the point where you were already incarcerated and you
Mm-hmm.
just looked like, whatever it is, I need help no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay. Um, have those close to you, like family or close friends, been supportive in your efforts to get clean?
Yeah, yeah. This has been a long road. I'm 31 now. Kind of now it's at the point where they're like, you have to do this for you. If you keep choosing this lifestyle, and that was 8 months ago. I've been clean 8 months now. So, but before, through all the, my family's paid for some rehabs. The 12-step programs, and they've been supportive. My wife's been supportive. My kids, I have 3 kids: a 11-year-old son, a 7-year-old daughter, and a 1-year-old son, and they're all at the point, you have to do this for you now because we can't obviously can't help you.
Um, how has this program here at Youth
The
Challenge,
drugs.
how has, excuse me, how has drugs affected your personal life?
They've ruined it. Honestly, ruined my whole life. I've I've framed houses my whole life. Lost my job. Lost my relationship with my oldest son the day before. Um, I got locked up this time. My oldest son said to me, "I don't know what I would do if I lose you again." And the next day I got violated, and he hasn't talked to me since.
1 second, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
This is pronounced in your interview. Okay, continue.
Okay. Is there Are there any new positive habits you picked up since being in this program?
Oh, yes, for sure. Every day we wake up and rejoice. We have chapel every day, and the first 30 minutes is singing. And I had a real bad problem waking up every day, and for some reason in my head, uh, I would just get to myself and beat myself down, and it's kind of every morning waking up and singing and rejoicing, to the Lord has just kind of changed my whole attitude, just starting out the day different. And that's just one of the things. Just we get to go out a lot into the community. When I've been in prison before and done stuff like that, they just release you. They don't help you out. They don't do anything like that. They just release you into the public, and there's like, go ahead. And at first, I'm always okay, but I don't know how to handle it. I haven't before. And here, we go out and work for people. We're in public a lot, and it's kind of, I've been having fun doing little things like working at Bay Days, like being out there and being sober and realizing, I can be out there sober, has helped a whole bunch.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: was your personal drug of choice, heroin? And if so, like, what attracted you to that?
It eventually became heroin. It didn't start with heroin. Um, when I was 17 years old, my senior year of high school, I tore my ACL playing football, and they started giving me Percocets and stuff like that. I was already doing drugs, smoking weed and drinking and all that stuff, but that was the first time I actually got a habit to something and realized it, and realized like, wow, I feel better with this. Before it was just going out and partying. So eventually it was Percocets, then it turned to OxyContin, and just gradually, and then one day it actually happened. They made it so I started shooting OxyContin, injecting it, and one day they made OxyContin where you can't shoot them anymore. So I just decided to go to street drugs from there. It wasn't.
Let me ask ask you this: heroin in this Hampton Roads area has been kind of having a resurgence. Do you have any idea of why that would be?
I think it's like a lot of things, music, everything that goes in cycles, kind of. You know, I think a lot of kids see, especially right now, the kids are growing up that see their dads or grandpas were crackheads, and they don't want to be like them. So they think if they don't do that, they won't be like them. So they trade it out for other drugs.
Now, what is the link between prescription drugs and heroin?
Like comparable? How is it comparable?
No, yes.
Um, it's the same thing. Like I can get the exact same thing. Honestly, really, the prescriptions drugs, you know what you're gonna get. You know you spend this much money, you're gonna get this high for this amount of time. You go buy on the street, you have no idea what you're buying. You go to a drug dealer, it could be rat poisoning for all you know. But when you buy a prescription, the high is the exact same though. If anything, it's normally better because it's longer or it's chemically made. So
Okay. At what point personally did you realize the drug problem was bigger than you?
a long time ago, when I got released the first time, I did 9 months, and when I went home and realized I got back into it slowly, slowly, slowly. And one time I was looking in the mirror asking myself why I was doing it. And just, I realized the next day, that I don't want to do this, but I'm on my way to buy some right then, like it had control over me.
When you used, did you feel like you were escaping something?
This is one of those things I've thought about a lot, like why I didn't have anything dramatic happen to me when I was a kid or traumatic. I didn't have, I just think over time that's how I dealt with stuff. That's how I learned to, yeah, I guess escape, just stress relief. Instead of working out, I'd use drugs.
All right. Well,
So we would like to get a shot of you and, Hall, I'm sorry, talking. So Mr. Hall? Okay, come on in, thank you so much.
You're
for
very
sharing your
welcome.
story.